And good morning. Today is middle of March, March 14th, 25. Some of you who have been following me, you know that I've been restoring my pacer one section at a time. So I've restored both wings already. I restored everything firewall forward. I did the doors last year, and the belly panels I did a couple of years ago. So now it's the big one. So what I have to do is now I have to take the wings off again. So it's going to be happening tomorrow on Saturday. I have a couple of friends coming over helping me taking the wings off. And then it's time to strip the whole fuselage down. Everything comes off. Cut the fabric of the fuselage and also the landing gear. At this time, gonna recover the landing gear. There is a AD on the rudder that the rudder has to be replaced. The rudder post is 1020 mild steel, so there has to be a new rudder I have to put on, which the crate you see there in the background, it's already my new rudder. So I do that while I'm doing this. Probably also may as well do the tail feathers. But I've been chasing these paint cracks here now for years. And I had the same on the wings. So that's why I did the wings already. And I just want to get the whole airplane done. And basically, after I'm done with the fuselage, I will put a new headliner in. Here you can see the door. I did, like I said, the doors. I did last year. It has all new glass in it, so that's good. And the wings are done. So after I'm done this year, the basic airplane is actually almost like brand new. Of course, then in the next years, what is left is doing the new interior put in, and I'll probably redo the instrument panel a little bit. But after that, then it's just kind of maintaining it that way. So looking forward to it, and I'm gonna be posting videos about taking the airplane apart, inspecting it, and repairing it. The fuselage will be bead blasted and then painted, and not just primer, but will be epoxy primer plus a top coat on the fuselage, and then how I put it back together. So stay tuned, and if you hit the subscribe button, you will get notices whenever I put a new video out. This is gonna be, I figure, somewhere between 5 and 6 month project, so it will be a lot of videos. So here we go. So next time you see, the next clip is probably going to be with the wings off already, when I start digging into things. So see you then. Yeah, yesterday we took the wings off the pacer, and then I started working on the taking the cowling off and everything, the prop, and already had two little surprises here I'm going to show in a moment, but this is how it looks right now. The doors are off. Today I start working, actually first I have to take the battery out, and then I start working on getting the engine off the airplane. So the wings are nicely set in the corner, in the cradle. And now I'm going to show you the first two little surprises I already noticed when I start taking the cowling off. Yeah, one is here this spinner plate. I think my mechanic tried to stop drill a crack, but you can see how far it has advanced. So I definitely have to buy a new one. And then I'm gonna blend in or put in a picture of how much the engine was sagging actually down, and that resulted of the starter ring that you see here rubbing on the cowling. So definitely I need new engine mount rubbers to bring the engine back up. I'm about ready to disconnect the engine. Got the hoist already set up here, and so far pretty straightforward. Disconnecting everything, labeling it, but no surprises. It is a little tight to get to some of the spots, especially I'm not sure how, yeah, that lower motor mount bolt. It was pretty tough to get the cotter pin out, but you can actually rotate the bolt and then slowly work on the cotter pin and get it out. It's probably when they install engines, they don't have all the accessories on it, so it's much easier, but so far so good. So let's take the engine off. And so the engine is off. No big deal. It was pretty easy actually. The only thing I had, the one oil cooler line was wrapped around the engine mount, and I didn't notice it until I was trying to pull the engine off, and so I had to quickly disconnect it and get it untangled. Other than that, here it's hanging. Now after the engine is off, I can see that especially the motor mount on the pilot side, the lower one, is pretty much deformed. So that's probably the most of it where the sagging of the engine came from. The other ones actually don't look too bad, but of course they are totally worn, so they will be replaced. So after the engine is off, next thing is going to be to take all the rest of the glass out. So I'm going to start with the windshield, taking off all the screws and get ready to try to take it off. I'm not going to do it today all the way because it's too cold. I wait until it's a little bit warmer. So maybe in the meantime then I work on the rear right window and the pilot side window. So let's get started on that. My collection of parts is piling up here, and just to show what I do is whenever I take something off, I have these little Ziploc bags, and I put the hardware that came off with each part and put in the Ziploc bag, and then I also label or write on the bag what's in there. I may not necessarily reuse the hardware, but at least I know what kind of screw I took out and what bolts and everything. Just makes it hopefully easier because by the time I reassemble it in about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I may not remember what kind of screw was in there. I've been working on removing all the glass. Windshield is out. It was actually easier than I thought, because I put the windshield in and I used some automotive I use some automotive sealer that comes just on a roll, and you can form it. It's like a Play-Doh kind of stuff, and but here on the rear right window, I have a pretty big gap here. I hope the camera can see this, but there's, I mean, I can easily stick the screwdriver in here, even sideways. And but I believe someone before me bent this to get a better or an easier fit to slide this window in, because the rear right window just slides into this channel here. I can show this here. See, just when you install it, you just slide it right in, and that is how it sits. And I think for somebody really bent this channel open here. So I will research this a little bit, because here you can see here. And I'll probably move this all back in and make it a much tighter fit. So we'll see. I spent the last 2-3 days taking more of the pacer apart. So today I'm gonna start here on the front of the pacer, taking all this what's left on the firewall off, take the motor mount off. It'll be interesting how to get through this stuff that they put on here to seal around cables and the cable for the tachometer and stuff, and the oil pressure line. So get all that off so I can get the firewall off, which by the way I have a new firewall in order. The next big thing is going to be to take the instrument panel off. There's a lot of new cables here because I've had the instrument panel upgraded so many times, but there are also still a few old cables. I have not found anything too concerning yet about corrosion on the airplane. There's maybe just a little the surface corrosion here, but that's all manageable. The fuel lines, some of the fuel lines I will just replace and put new ones in. Inside, also, like I said, no big surprises so far. All the tubes and all the tubing that I found so far looks good. So I had to get a light here so we can see better. Like I said, I mean, tubing really looks not bad at all. Also here, the co-pilot door post, everything what I can see so far. No surprises, so that's good. But there are little things that kind of I wonder about. This is the back of the box from the starter, and as you can see, when they installed my new starter, and this has been done many years ago, they didn't bother putting grommets on there, so the starter cable is just rubbing on the metal box. That's all things that of course will be done correctly. So yeah, so I still have to take all this control column off, so there's still plenty of work just disassembling. And then here, this is mainly glue from the interior that I took out. But again, no really big surprises so far, and I hope it stays that way. So let's keep on working. So many people who fly PA-22s and PA-20s have asked me about my gap seals that I have on the horizontal stabilizer to the elevator, and also here on the rudder. And I always try to explain how they work. I made them, which is basically a copy of what Frank Sperando did on Miss Pearl. And now, since I'm taking them off, it's a good time to actually show how they work in detail. And as I've always explained, so there's a top and bottom aluminum strip here. Let me actually turn around so I'm going with the light, goes against it. So there's top and bottom aluminum strip, and then between the aluminum strips, I machined these Lexan strips, which they have countersunk holes on top with a dowel pin in it, holding the loop of a closed loop spring, and then they can move up and down, held by the springs. I hope all this comes out okay on the video. Maybe here's some close-up view where you can actually look through. Maybe then I go against the light here, maybe then it's more visible. So this is basically how you see how the springs actually pull them together. Yeah, so there is between every screw there is a spring that is held by dowel pins on the top and bottom, and then they just pull against each other. And of course this top aluminum piece is on top, and then it's sandwiched in between this the gap here, and closes the gap. I do have Teflon tape here on the underside. It's all covered in Teflon tape, and this has been on here I don't know how many years now, since last time I took them off. It's 10 years plus at least, and you see there's no chafing or anything on the fabric, so everything looks good. So now everyone, you know how my gap seals actually work. So they're spring loaded, and back then Frank Sperando actually sent me his 337, and I got that signed off by our Fisto on the 337. Okay, so now you know. And I got all the fabric of the airplane, and it looks, I'm so far optimistic. Looks pretty good. I haven't seen any tubes that are really corroded, other than some surface corrosion, but I am glad that I'm doing it. It has been 39 years since the airplane has been opened up. For instance, here at the tail, there's just so much dirt and stuff that collects, and see here, this will definitely over time create some problem, and moisture will collect in here and maybe give me some problem. And here we can also see, hopefully it turns out on the camera, where the fabric was coming around, how dirt collects between the tube and the fabric. Luckily has not caused any problems yet. So it's all just surface stuff. Some areas look worse than others, like here where the handle is, but also here everything looks good. Going further forward, some of this I thought looked like corrosion, but when I scrape it, it actually comes right off there. So it's also the glue actually sometimes looks over the years like it's brownish, but definitely needs to be all cleaned, which will be done professionally, bead blasting. And then here I still have to take the floorboards out. There's again areas where the dirt collects. Right here there's a piece underneath here to give the fabric some shape, and you can see how much dirt and stuff actually collects in there, and I don't know what to do about that, other than maybe putting the floorboards in and then putting first tape over here to prevent this from happening, but I have no idea. If anybody has some ideas, let me know. Also here, this cluster here looks good. The doorpost, this is the doorpost cluster here, that looks good. What I can tell up here, where water could collect, also everything looks good. Going further forward here, also this is just dirt, and then again surface corrosion, but everything looks solid, so I'm happy how it looks. But again, 39 years since it's been covered, so I'm glad I'm taking it apart. Also here, this is the very front where the engine mount is, and all this stuff collecting here just takes the paint off, and you basically have bare tubing here now. By the way, this green color here is how the airplane was originally came out of the Piper factory. But this is all still pretty solid. Going further around, left side of the fuselage, same thing. Here, just a lot of dirt and stuff collecting, and of course if you let it sit and just more years, and all of the, we have moisture collecting here, and sooner or later it will be a problem. Like scraping all this off here, it's more or less just dirt. Here, just surface stuff. So here, everything's solid. So I'm pretty happy. Again, I don't think I have to do any welding, which is really nice. So I can look at this here. It's, there's so much stuff collecting everywhere. So I don't know how in the future I can keep this cleaner. Prevent this from collecting and becoming so messed up. So, but anyway, so like I said, and here's an extra Tinnerman nut that I probably lost in there. But all this, the tail post bottom here looks really good. So glad to see that. Okay, so on I go. I still have a lot of disassembly to do. The trim system has to come out, all the wires have to come out. Still have pieces of the luggage compartment here that have to come out. All the floorboards have to come out. Instrument panel, control column. So still lots to do. So I'm going to be busy for another week. Well, after closer inspection, I did find what looks like a crack on the very bottom of the tube for the vertical stabilizer, and there's a hole going, actually drilled all the way through, and I pulled this wire out of there. So I don't know if they maybe in the past this was a wire for a tail post beacon on top of the rudder. I don't know why they would route it through here, but anyway, so I will have to show this to my mechanic, but I think it can just be welded over, hopefully. So I did find at least something that is not really that good, but that's the only thing I found so far. Well, I'm at the end of the first video. So there's still a lot of disassembly to do that I start in the second video. So if you like what you've seen so far, and if you want to see it all the way to the end, I have no idea how many videos it's going to be until the airplane is flying again. So, but if you like to watch it, hit the subscribe button and the like button, and I see you in the next video.